something more than that.
Yeah, episode 20 was the last one.
So this is episode 21. And what is significant about 21, Devin?
It's the legal drinking age, my friend.
Let me explain. Let me do some explaining to you on something.
Oh, explain it. I like explaining. You know, you have some explaining to do. Why you got no chips, buddy?
Yeah, I got no chips. First, let me get this out because it's epic.
Okay, epic.
Do you know what to? Okay, we're not filming on Thursday. We're filming on what day?
Tuesday.
Tuesday the what?
Tuesday the 5th.
Yes. What happened on this day, 1933?
Prohibition
Was ended.
Yes.
And this is our 21st episode. Both
Nice.
of them have to do with drinking.
And we're over 21.
And our glasses are empty.
Well, that sounds like a problem.
But do you want some chips too?
Yeah, chips and salsa.
Chips and salsa. Okay. Uno
momento.
momento.
Wait,
Yeah.
but should we...
Should we what?
It does look like...
We're a long ways away. Let's...
Yeah, and it looks like, you know, they're looking down on us.
Well,
not just because our content sucks.
How's
there
that?
you go. Perfect. Yeah. And then up a little bit. Now we're on kind of the same level. Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Hey, that's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need
chips and salsa.
Oh, but
is it thick salsa? Is it?
before I get the chips and salsa, we have to say who our sponsor is.
Yeah.
But wait, we've got Manotea, or I have a little gift for you, my friend. A gift. They also make a whiskey there. You cannot buy this in the U.S. It's not plastic. I was worried. It looked kind of plasticky at first. It's the only whiskey they made. I did not taste test that one. So I'm kind of wondering if we should do this one first and then do this later.
Next time?
Next time, yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
And I had whiskey earlier tonight.
Chips and salsa.
Yeah.
So let's take a break.
Okay.
And then we'll open this.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'll be right back.
Nice.
Pause.
Oh, yes.
Let me get a couple containers.
Oh, sweet.
We don't really need a container for the chips, but we do need it for the salsa.
Yes.
Wait. Not a plus. Are we still? Oh, we're still recording.
Nice.
So I gotta edit that. Here's some chips. Open that up. But before I put any food in my mouth,
Okay.
we gotta have a raw taste test of this stuff.
Nice.
Thank you, Trader Joe's, another one of our sponsors. So the sponsor tonight will be
Island Creek. Some kind of whiskey, alcohol aromas. Ingredients, alcohol aromas.
Oh man, I should have tasted it first.
Now, this can't be worse. This cannot be worse
Not worse than Egyptian whiskey.
Egyptian whiskey, which scored a 6.9 on a
scale of 100.
scale of 100. Oh, a 6 out of 10 ain't bad.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome home.
It doesn't smell bad.
It doesn't smell too bad. All right, I'm going in.
It's very light.
It's very light.
Yeah.
And it has a sweet
A little bit sweet.
sweetness. I wonder what the aromas is.
That's probably sugar. You better check your little diabetic monitor right now, buddy.
Distilled and bottled in French Polynesia,
Yeah.
Isle of Moorea.
Yes. Moorea.
In
Manutia.
Manutia, Tahiti.
Manutia. That's the rum. We'll try this next time. Here's the thing. She laid out these rums.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to let me know which one. Not going to let me know which is which. Because,
Cost you money?
It
cost you money?
To do the taste test? No.
Oh, nice. That's even better.
They knew I was ready to buy. Just the drool coming out of my mouth. It's like, this boy's spending money, so. And I had already grabbed this, but I wanted to bring back a rum. And they had actually a range of them. Some of the really aged ones.
Rum?
Yeah, Julie wasn't going to
Allow it.
She was She was with me at the time, so there was no chance in hell I was spending a lot of money on that.
There's nothing wrong with a $400 bottle of rum.
She didn't say it that way. Anyhow, the thing is,
when are you going back? How much money did you spend there? $400, and the whole trip is peanuts. Peanuts.
That's a valid point.
For the satisfaction of your husband bringing home $400.
And so there were two that were organic. And I don't know exactly what that meant, but because they make them all there. But there were two that were organic, and then there were 4 others. So I had 6 of them that I was trying. I'm kind of going between them all, and I'm going, this one, because one was even more organic than the other, and I said, this one really stands out. And this one is
more organic than the
well,
other.
I don't remember the process. It's foggy.
Well, organic means that there's no pesticides. What does organic mean?
That's a loose definition these days. You really don't. Point is, I was able to identify the organic rums because there was just something different about it, and I couldn't quite place my finger on it. It had a different smell, a different taste, and I picked the one that was her favorite. She liked that a lot.
So organic, relating to or derived from living matter, that's organic soils, or produced
dead matter,
or involving production without the use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, or other artificial agents. So more than likely the organic ones, right, the sugar cane or whatever is used to produce the alcohol, there's no chemicals, no, just regular soil, and that's all you get, right? No fertilizers, pesticides, or anything artificial.
Right. I think the difference was, it wasn't that it was more organic. I think the difference was one got some sugar cane from a different area on the island, and the other one was right there at the distillery area. And it was so sad. They were creating, I don't know if they were creating more parking space or what, but they were cutting down these branches of a mango tree. There were unripe mangoes all over the ground, these poor little sacrificial lambs for more parking space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
That happens.
Anyhow, I looked it up, found it, and even the fetching missus went with me. Yes, I have already been drinking. And, hey.
What did we say about that?
It's been a couple of weeks, I've forgotten. Look, I gotta have wine with my dinner.
You got to?
And then I gotta have wine with my dessert. Because my dessert was chocolate. I'm telling you, there ain't much better than red wine and dark chocolate.
I do like dark chocolate.
It doesn't get much better than that, man. So anyhow, Prohibition ended this day, back in 1933.
Well, finish that so I can pour more. I didn't pour very much in there in case it was gross. You just never know.
You never know.
If you've never tasted it, you never know.
Well, and it kind of looked like that one I brought you back from Egypt.
A little bit.
And so when I grabbed it, I went, oh, whew, it's glass. There's the first good sign.
Yeah. So, I got this Flavier whiskey advent calendar this year.
Oh.
For my birthday. It was on sale. It was like $250.
Ooh.
So I bought it
How
for my
much
birthday.
whiskey?
Well, it's like a vial this tall and around. It's like a vial.
I think there's some sweetener in there.
There's gotta be something. And every day there's one of these vials. It's a good 2.5 ounces maybe. At least 2 ounces.
Nice.
So, but it's a bunch of stuff that's not sold in Oregon.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's one so far out of the 5 days that is sold in Oregon. But only one. They're like the brand of another one is sold in Oregon, but the actual version not sold in Oregon.
Well, what was cool when I talked to her about these rums, I said, okay, I'm not going to be able to buy this in the U.S., right? And she goes, we're too small of a distillery. I mean, this is just for the Polynesian Islands. It doesn't go beyond that.
That's so cool.
Very cool.
But so I and it comes with like 2 little glasses and a little logbook that tells you about each one, and then you can write notes.
Wait a minute. 2 glasses?
Yeah.
Would you like one for each hand, or are you actually partaking with anybody else?
Well, I'm giving Christina a small smidge. Right?
Thinking.
Yeah. So I give her a small smidge to try, because if we find something that she will drink with me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because she doesn't really like whiskey.
I don't blame her.
As you drink more whiskey.
Well.
So, but today she
get hot with
liked
this thing.
she liked the one from today, but not available in Oregon.
Nice.
So I mean that's cool, but she
Just
likes it.
not available
You
in
can't get it.
Oregon.
And I looked all over the internet, and even at the distillery, like from the distillery where they say buy online here, out of stock.
Wow.
So that's pretty good.
It is. I think it's sweet though.
Oh yeah, it's sweet.
I think it's sweet. It's probably a white rum with whiskey flavoring and caramel coloring.
Probably.
I don't want to go from this to this though.
No, we should do that next time.
Yes, we will. We will.
Yeah.
So, how was your time while I was gone, Devin?
It was acceptable.
Come up with anything to talk about?
Actually, I do want to talk about something. It's been on my mind.
Ooh.
So, every day I listen to the President's Daily Brief.
Yeah, and I haven't been listening to that lately.
It's all right. Well, Mr. Mike Baker, if you're watching this, we love you, Mike Baker. He so dutifully points out that, the internet and the woke folk are, clamoring for people to care about Palestinians, right? And Israel's bad for, hurting civilians in Palestine. Even though Hamas, let's have our office right inside the hospital, right?
Yeah.
So, I was thinking about this, and is Hamas and other groups like that, are they similar to the mafia?
Oh, for the people over there,
For
I've
the
heard
people
stories.
of Palestine,
Yeah.
they're like the mafia, right? And you hear the stories about early mafia, right, where the Italians lived in a certain section of town and everybody shit on the Italians, and the mafia was the only people that kind of stood up for their own people while raping their own people.
Right.
So nobody wanted the mafia gone, but
they also didn't want them.
But they also didn't want them there. And is this kind of the same situation with Hamas?
It's kind of like politicians. We really don't want them, but we kind of want them. Well, actually, we really don't want them, do we? Well, we have to have a government. No, so back to Palestinian. It could be. The thing is I don't live there.
I know.
But here's, okay, this is a little bit on the same subject. I forget now who the producer was that was being interviewed a couple of decades ago. And in the interview, I heard this played, and I could probably track it down. In the interview, I don't know what brought it about, but the part they focused in on was when he referenced talking to Rockefeller. Mm-hmm. And Rockefeller said, and this does tie in, and you'll see where it ties in. Rockefeller said somehow it said, what we think about, the women's right movement in the 60s and stuff like that, was that groundswell or whatever. Then he said, yeah, it would just, it was brought up, and Rockefeller just kind of laughed at me. You're a fool. You're an idiot. No, we paid for that. We made that happen.
Yeah, because they wanted more workers to make more money.
No, here, close. He told him, this guy said he was told by Rockefeller, he said, well, first off, you got half the population not getting taxed. Yeah. So it ties in with that.
Yeah.
Second off, if they're off to work, the kids got to go to school, and then we can shape their brain. We can shape the way they're thinking. And you see these college kids with Palestine, they got no flipping idea what really goes on there or what would happen to them if they lived in a place like that.
Yeah. In fact, at Bibby's school, some teacher and a few students put a free Palestine and a flag in a room where Jewish students have resided. So there was a whole big ordeal with it. They had to take the flag down.
Good. I was glad they did.
No, me too.
Because did you hear about this religious celebration? I don't remember what state. They removed the menorah because somebody, an Arab, complained that this is, whatever. So
well,
continue.
But I was dropping Bibby off, and he goes to the cafeteria in the morning to hang out with his friends. And it was either this morning or yesterday morning, they were taking down all the flags from around the world.
And see, that's just stupid. First off, they're not a nation. And if you go through the history of that geographical location, you'll find they never were a nation. And you find out who it was that used to rule there.
Yeah.
It's passed from more powerful to more powerful. Because that's the history of the world,
that's
right?
The history of the world.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal, really.
Yeah.
People need to get over it.
They do.
I'll never forget.
Woke joke.
I'll never forget my sister's husband, who has passed away now. He was over here. We took him to the Oregon Museum thing, and obviously Native American stuff. And he made a mention about what we did was wrong. Brad did, yes. And he said, you should give the land back.
Who are you going to give it back to?
This is what I said. I said, okay, one, who are you going to give it back? And two, how far back do you go?
Well, that's the thing,
because
right?
every single nation was conquered by another people group.
Yeah, and there were so many different, like the Apaches took over the Comanches.
Oh, yeah.
So do you give it to the Apaches or do you give it to the Comanches? Like, how far are you going to go back?
Yeah, and people just ignore the fact that they were doing that shit. They were shitting on each other as well.
Human beings shit on other human beings. And
Today's lesson, boys and girls,
that's
is
just a way of life.
Stop shitting on each other. Sorry.
Yeah. But when you have, centuries-old vendettas, right?
But see, that's really not what it's about.
I know.
And you know that.
I know that.
And I like the way this one guy put it, because in Hebrew, there's a word, and I wish I could remember it now. It was a play on words, and it was something about why the Jews? Why was the Jews? And it was like I don't remember exactly how it was said, but it would be like saying the Sinai is because of the Sinai. Because on Mount Sinai is where God started everything with his people, with the commandments and everything. And the Sinai had to do, or however the word's actually pronounced, has to do with the hatred, the attack on them. And so it was this Jewish whoever used those play on words, and I think that's what it is.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that simple.
Well, it's not simple, but it is. And it's not complex, but it is. A lot of things in life are that way.
So,
because it's always the Jews, man.
If the Jews would have been placed in Siberia, would any of this be happening?
Well, first off, if you read the different writings and the historical shit that happened, they weren't placed anywhere because they had nowhere to go. Because you had every single nation saying no Jews allowed.
I know, but then the Jews congregated there.
Because they were going to go to this place in Africa, and I forget what the hiccup was there, and they said, look, we just need to go back to our homeland. They had already had a lot of Jewish people there.
Yeah.
And so they said, yeah. And so they kept trying to go there, and so England, they created a barricade to get them out, to keep them out.
Yeah.
So it was not that they were placed there. They fought to get there.
Sure, but
and
at
they
some
legally
point,
bought land.
At some
they
point,
legally entered.
I agree. But at some point, people said, yes, this is your nation now.
Oh yeah, because you know when you get 6 million people wiped out by a crazy man,
Yeah.
everybody goes, all right, we'll do this, and then immediately they were attacked, and you had all of these guys that had just come out of concentration camps in a war to fight for their land, and they won.
Yeah. But imagine, like, if they would have said, well,
My glass is empty, Devin.
oh, sorry.
Gosh.
If they would have said,
I don't want to take up all of yours though. Let's
no. This is fine. Let's add some ice this time.
Okay.
And let's see the flavor profile with ice. And listen, you're never gonna catch me not sharing with someone who brings me something.
Which chunk do you want?
Give me the big one.
Big one. It's as close as I get to one of those solid ice balls. It'll fall apart pretty soon.
Well, plus this glass isn't good for the solid ice ball.
I know, because it's
super
got the
cool.
fake ice inside. But it does look cool.
It looks cool. Cheers.
Here's to looking cool. Which has gone beyond me decades ago.
Wow. But I think, like, what if all the Jews had said, you know, what? Why don't we just take over Hollywood?
No, you said Jewses.
No, I said, what if all the Jews chose?
No, you said what if we will rewind this?
We're not going to rewind this. So put in the comments what I said.
You said what if all the Jewses?
What if all the Jews said? Did I say that? Wow.
I think it was actually a slip of the tongue, but I'm going to say that you're just stupid.
Okay. What if they said, you know, I know we want to go to the Holy Land, but why don't we go someplace that isn't a conflicting place, right?
But it wasn't. It was owned by England.
No, I get that. But the historical significance of the place where everybody goes, Jews go, Christians go, Muslims go, that place is in that region, right? So what if they just said, we're going to fucking go to Siberia and be left alone? Like, do you...
Because in Russia they had what was called pogroms.
Okay, maybe not Russia, but like some other place that had no...
That was their problem.
That had no biblical...
No, it didn't matter. The U.S. didn't want them. No country wanted them.
So why does Iran hate them so much?
Sorry, brain just immediately went down another rabbit hole.
That's fine. Rabbit hole just down the Cabana hole. So
why is it we're not seeing on the news, you know, if I was to watch it, all of the attacks that Iran is making on our troops in different
Mike
parts
Baker's
of the world?
talking about it every single day.
I need to listen to him.
You need to listen. It's like 15 minutes or less.
I know.
Twice a day.
Know, but
once in the morning, once in the afternoon. He added an afternoon. And he keeps repeatedly saying, until the U.S. makes a real effort to do something, it doesn't have to be militarily. It can be financial. It can be some other kind of thing, right?
Yes.
Until they do something, until Biden gets off his stupid ass and gives a shit about American soldiers, they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Hell yeah.
Gonna keep doing it. Don't care. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And of course they're not gonna show it on TV. It makes Biden look bad.
Right. Okay.
We need more salsa with sauce. It's too chunky. The vegetables taste like
It's
that.
all about chunks, man.
Well, then you eat the chunks. You chunky monkey.
What the hell is a chunk? It just doesn't sound right. Chunky monkey. There was something else.
Let's see.
But I just...
So anyways, so my thing was, is Hamas similar to the mafia for the Palestinian people? I think maybe.
I think worse. I think worse. Because
Except for they're funded by Iran.
And the fact that their focus is not on Gaza. It's not on Palestine.
No, it's about killing Israel.
Yeah, exactly.
Killing Israel.
Yeah.
But they are theoretically, I would assume, now maybe I'm talking out of my ass because I just don't know, but theoretically, most of Hamas, maybe outside of leadership, are actually like Palestinians from Gaza, right?
Oh, no. They're Palestinians, but they're heavily funded by Iran, and the leaders of Hamas.
They don't even live in Gaza.
I was just going to say
they live in
don't
Qatar
live there.
and
I know.
And Timbuktu.
Which is why we should just send in hitmen to those areas and take those bastards out.
Well, the problem is they're all billionaires because they stole all the money allocated to the Palestinian people to actually
for food
and energy, schools and water, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And I just saw a report that someone, I think 1 or 2 days before the October 7th attack, shorted the entire Israeli stock market. I wonder who that was, and
Soros.
made billions of dollars.
Soros is the one that does that kind of stuff.
Well, I bet it was Hamas. The leaders of Hamas, they knew it was coming, right? They knew when it was going to come, right? And they're all billionaires. They have billions of dollars, so why not just make a few more?
That's true.
But of course, nobody's investigating that.
We are.
Well, we've got our investigation hats on.
It was so sad. There's just nothing that can be done about it. The wheels are in motion.
Yeah.
The puppet masters are there. There's nothing you and I can do. I have friends, as you know, on every side of the political, socio-economical spectrum.
Yeah, but you only like the ones that...
Well, yes, Devin, would you like to finish that sentence?
No, I was completely joking. You only really like the ones that think like you. I'm kidding, of course.
I like you.
I know, that's why I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
I was completely kidding. It just sounded funny.
I'm just getting too hot.
All right.
It's really not winter yet.
It's winter. You missed the 30-degree weather, man.
I know.
The cars were frozen.
Hey, dude, we were okay. I was feeling really bad because I started to think, did I screw up big time? I did all my research. I wanted to create this wonderful little trip for the fetching missus.
Yeah.
And so we go off over there. The weather was hellacious.
Yeah, I saw the videos and the pictures.
Yeah, it was just not just rain. I expected a little bit of rain because we're starting to get into the rainy season. But it's not deep into the rainy season. Fortunately, I was relieved because there were like the speakers on our cruise, as well as other people that go there a lot, as well as locals. It was not normal weather.
Yeah, so you chose correctly. You just got screwed.
That's the way life is, man.
Hey, life sucks, man.
And what you do is you just
plan for success and you expect disaster.
Well, you
really?
know, actually,
No.
no, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree 100%.
Because when disaster strikes, hey, this
You're
is
ready
what
for it.
this is what I
Exactly.
expected, right? I expected. It's like how I feel about all my friends, right? No, not like. Really? Wow, this is one for the ages. You threw up in your mouth a little bit, didn't
I
you?
did not throw up, but
No.
you got,
What I'm saying is all of my friends are great, right? And I love all
I
of my
don't know
friends.
now.
No, they're all great. But since I was about 15, I've had the philosophy of just because
nobody has a philosophy at 15.
I didn't know it was a philosophy.
Okay.
Now as an adult, I can tell like it was a philosophy,
Okay,
right?
see ya.
Right? That, listen, like, if you expect your friends to disappoint you,
they'll fulfill that. And you're good.
and it's okay. And when they don't, you're pleasantly surprised.
True.
Right?
True.
And for me, it's like, if I am relying on Dana to take me to the airport, and he can't because
Look, I didn't mean...
because he scheduled this 3-week trip because he needs another 3 weeks out of the country.
Yeah.
And I have to do it myself.
According to my parole officer.
I kind of rely on him to take me to the airport. But if I truly relied, I would have been devastated.
That's true.
Instead, I was like, yeah, no problem.
Because I know Dana's going to screw me over.
Because I know somebody's going to fuck me one day.
Look, I didn't...
I know you did. But
I didn't plan on it.
I know, but it's my point, right?
If you gave me more notice, I would plan on it.
I know you would. My point is if you expect things to not go the way you plan, right? Then you're mentally prepared for it. And then when it goes the way you hope, then you're just that much more happy.
Right. I mean, that's the way I approach life. You need to live each day like you're going to die tomorrow. Ooh. And you need to live each day like you're going to live a full, healthy life.
Oh, already?
Because you do have to... Because if you just live like you're going to live forever, you're going to be like Ronnie, who... You know...
That's not a live forever. That's
No. But my point is, it's not focused on anything. If you're living for forever, you're not focused. If you're living on, look, I got to get things lined up because I'm not here tomorrow. So I got to get my ducks in a row. Now, the difference though is you don't want this fatalist attitude. There are some people who just dwell there.
Yeah.
And they're party poopers.
I'm not a party pooper.
They're not invited to the Cabana twice.
Wait a second. I know there are a few people that have been here more than once.
Okay, but that's because...
That's because they're your wife's friends. And you... and you can't disinvite them.
Actually, my wife's friends don't come here.
Well, your friends' wives?
Wait, I'm confused now.
Your friends' wives.
Yeah?
Like, you can't not invite the wife.
Oh, right. There's that, too.
Yeah.
Fortunately...
This is kind of tasty.
It's tasty, but I think it's because they put some sugar in it.
Well, I guess that's okay.
Do you want some more ice?
Yes, please.
All right.
Should water it down a bit. You know, the proof isn't that much. It's only 40%.
Now, there was... What was this? I think this is 40. Or 50. It's 50.
Number 396 of 500. Only 47%, so that's 94 proof.
Okay. They had another one that was stronger, but I want some flavor.
You can have strong and flavor. 1792 full proof is the...
Yeah. It's a darn good flavor, I'll have to admit.
And it's 125 proof. It's strong.
It's 1,000 proof.
There's no such thing.
Well, there's also no such thing as 500. That was the other thing.
What?
That was the other thing.
Ooh,
because you know how much I love sports. I want your take on this whole Florida fiasco. They've got they're undefeated college team. I just know they're from Florida.
Florida State, undefeated, 13-0, yeah.
And yet they get mixed.
So,
that's not right.
Well,
I don't care if their quarterback is busted up now.
Okay.
It's not right.
Well,
you're undefeated.
Okay, but here's the problem. If we're talking about an NFL system where the record is the only thing that gets you into the playoffs, then you're right, they got screwed. The problem is that's not how college football has behaved for the last 3,000 years.
Because they're so woke these days.
It's not about woke. There's 132 teams.
Wearing their little skirts on the playing field.
Stop. The problem is that teams are ranked by
because there's too many teams.
Because there's too many teams.
I understand.
Okay? So teams are ranked.
But still, come on, man.
No, stop. If you take a look at the record of the opponents that they played, the record of the opponents they played is under 500. Under 500.
Well, okay.
So they were beating nobodies.
What does under 500 mean?
Like 500 percentage points. So it's under... So the team that they played... This is what
made me think of it. Because you can't go 1,000 proof. You also can't go more than 100%. So why do they say 500? He's batting 500. He's
because, listen, Alabama, who made it in.
Okay.
Because they beat Georgia. Now, here's the real problem to this whole thing is the fact that Georgia was ranked number 1 all year. They're not in the playoff, and they put Florida State above them because of record. But really, the reason they're not in the playoff is because of the quarterback. But they put them above Georgia. That was a woke move. Complete pussy move. They should have put them below Georgia based on the quarterback. That's how they decided, right? And really, the real reason why they're not in there isn't because of the record. It isn't because of their quarterback. It's because of the money. And
it's always the money.
It's always the money. We've talked about this before. Everything in this world revolves around money. And the sponsors, the betting market,
right?
All of that stuff. If they would have put State at the number 4 spot instead of Alabama, the point spread would have been 18. Okay? Which means in the betting market, they would have played Michigan, which is the number 1 seed. That means if you were to bet the game, utilizing the point spread, if you bet on Florida State would start with 18 points.
Oh, wow.
So you think about golf handicaps, right?
Right. Cheating.
It's not cheating, it's a handicap.
No, it's cheating.
To make everything fair.
No.
Well, that's why real golf tournaments aren't, like, professional golf tournaments, the handicap doesn't matter. You only do that with, like, amateurs and, like, fun things where you use your handicap, right? So that's the problem, is because their quarterback was gone. Now, if the quarterback was there, not hurt, they probably would have just put him in there.
Yeah.
But because he's gone, they're going to get destroyed. They're going to probably lose by 30. Like, nobody wants to watch that.
Do you want to place a bet?
Well, they're not playing, so you never know.
They could play somebody.
They are playing somebody. I just saw it. They're playing...
Who are they playing?
Georgia?
Georgia. Georgia.
Who is Florida State?
Oh, that reminds me of something else. But you know what? We've already run out of time.
We can close it and keep talking.
Oh, yeah.
Who is Florida State playing in the bowl game?
I spilled.
So they're playing Georgia.
Okay.
Okay, which is ranked number 6 because they lost to Alabama.
Okay.
In the SEC championship game. Georgia was ranked number 1 all season, almost.
Oh, wow.
Okay? But they beat Alabama when they played in the regular season. And then in the SEC championship game, because they're both in the SEC, in the championship game, Alabama beat them. So they were 1-1, and Alabama won in the championship game, so they're elevated because of that. Okay? They put Georgia 6, and Florida State is actually ranked 4, but they didn't make the playoff. So they're playing Georgia. So now let's see.
So let's place a bet.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna.
You and me. We're gonna bet. Florida and Georgia. I say Florida wins because this backup quarterback. He's saying, "This is my chance to shine."
Oh, I'm getting easy money. Okay, so we'll even use the spread here. So the money line is plus 490.
I don't know what that means.
So what that means is,
do you, Skinny? Do you know?
the spread. Okay, so Georgia is getting plus 14.
Which means they get 14 points at the start of the game.
Florida State gets 14.
Oh. They think Florida sucks that much.
Without a quarterback. And
they're going to have a quarterback.
They're not going to have the quarterback that got them to 13-0.
Okay.
And the dollar amount is minus 110. So, what that means is, if I bet $1,000, wait, how does this work? I don't remember.
This is why Vegas always wins. They make these weird things.
No, it's not weird. I just don't remember.
If you can't remember, boys and girls.
I don't bet.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You do.
No, I don't.
I'm telling.
I don't.
That was spoken like a true addict.
No, I don't, because I would be addicted. And I would lose my ass. And odd minus 110. Stake $1,000. Calculate. Okay, so if it's minus 110, if you bet $1,000 instead of getting $1,000,
Right.
you would get 190909.
Right.
Right?
It's kind of like in craps when you're betting for or against.
I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works.
Okay.
So, if you're getting...
This is getting boring is what it's getting. We
No,
should
it's-
really end this.
We already did.
No, we didn't. We didn't give an official goodbye. We have to give an
So,
official goodbye.
if you have a plus 120, okay, and you bet $1,000, you get the $1,000 plus the 20, which
know
is
what?
200.
My weight lately, I'd say I'm about a plus 120.
Well, out of the probably a plus 130. All right, let's end this officially
With a plus 110.
with a plus gut.
Plus gut. All right.
Cheers.
Next time,
Next time, Tahitian
the rum from
Yeah. And
Tahiti.
so, are you even going to be in town?
Yeah.
So we have to go to Spokane this weekend, the beach next
Here it
weekend.
comes.
Oh, but we're coming home Monday, so in 2 weeks, Tuesday, we'll be here.
All right.
Cheers. Cheers. And that'll be episode 22. So we did 22.
22.
Yeah. We did 22 out of 26 this year.
Not bad.
Not bad for a slacker who goes out of town too much. You know, I tracked this. You were gone 7.5 weeks this year.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Look
you
it up.
Lie.
Look it up.
I'm not going to look it up.
Because it's probably more. I guessed. Ask Jason, he knows.
Exactly.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy
down the Cabana
hole.
And you should be watching Happy Fridays.
Yeah.
They're a lot shorter and
Well, they're just as boring, but shorter.
they're a lot shorter.